Hello, I'm Tom Price, represent the 6th District of Georgia, and want to welcome you to this website. You all have given me the privilege and honor of representing this district in the United States House of Representatives. I can't tell you the energy and enthusiasm that I've felt across this district and across this state and across this land over the past couple of months. People are so enthusiastic about getting back to fundamental American principles, whether it's through the Tea Parties or the 4th of July celebration or all of the meetings that you're having everywhere across this district. People are interested in making certain that we take our nation back, that we remember about fundamental American principles like individual liberty and individual responsibility, a strong national security, and strong moral nation. You've given me the privilege also of being the chairman of the Republican Study Committee, a group of conservatives in the House of Representatives that are coming up with wonderful, positive solutions to the challenges that we face. So as we move forward into 2010 and making certain that November of 2010 is wonderfully successful, let me challenge you to reinvigorate yourself, reinvigorate your neighbors, recruit other individuals to get involved in this cause of American liberty and American freedom. Thank you ever so much.
I want to just take the opportunity to thank the organizers of this. This truly is a grassroots movement that we are witnessing here. This is just the beginning. And thanks to each and every one of you for your participation. This is incredibly important for our community to see, for our state to see, and for our nation to see. I don't have to tell you that we are in remarkably challenging times. We have a federal government right now that is spending way too much. A federal government that is taxing way too much, and a federal government that is borrowing way too much, not from you or from me, but from our children and from our grandchildren, and it's just plain wrong. Yeah. We have leaders now who are delirious with spending other people's money. And have you seen this sign over here, this quote over here? The problem with this socialism is that eventually you run out of other people's money. Now, why does this make a difference? Why does this make a difference? It's because we are truly robbing our nation from our children and our grandchildren. That's what we're doing as a nation right now, and that's wrong. Ronald Reagan also said that it's not that our opponents are ignorant, it's that so much of what they know just isn't so. So the bigger question that we have here is who's going to decide? Is it right for an administration to decide who ought to be a CEO in a private company in this nation? Is that right? No. Is it right for a company that takes federal money and wants to return it for the government then to say no? No. Is it right for huge social change to be implemented at the federal level under the guise of an economic crisis? Is that right? No. Ladies and gentlemen, we are blessed to live in the greatest nation in the history of mankind. Our nation has provided more liberty and more freedom and more opportunity and more hope to more individuals than any nation that God has ever known. It would make sense, don't you think, that we ought to embrace the fundamental principles that brought all of that about? And those fundamental principles you know well. They're individual responsibility and individual liberty, because individual responsibility and liberty creates individual opportunity. A federal system where all the power isn't in Washington. You've heard from many of our founders who knew the danger of a large federal government. The rule of law and market capitalism. Market capitalism is what has allowed our nation to be great. And finally, lower taxes. Every dollar that the government takes away from you is a dollar less freedom that you have. That's why low taxes are important. Now, the beauty of our system is this, and that is that it will respond to people when people stand up and say, that's enough. And that's what we're doing today, saying that's enough. Everywhere I go, regardless of the conversation, at the end of it, people say, what can I do? What can I do? So I would urge you to think about what inspired you to come here today, to embrace that sense and that emotion and that heartfelt feeling, and spread that. Spread that to your neighbors, spread it to your friends, spread it to your family, to your co-workers, It is that enthusiasm and that love of country that will allow us to turn things around. Let me close with one quote from Samuel Adams, one of our founders, who said, "It doesn't take a majority to prevail. What it takes is a tireless and irate minority, keen on setting brush fires of freedom in the minds of men." Thank you ever so much for starting that brush fire of freedom right here, right now. God bless y'all.